We're obviously here at Phillip Island for the World Superbike weekend. Chatting to a few of the riders here, just as everyone's starting to pack up for the weekend from the ASBK series, and you can hear the trucks and the helicopters and everything flying around. So apologise in advance if the sound's not fantastic on this one, but just getting a bit of an insight from all the riders and some of the teams, just to try and hear what happened for the weekend. First up, we had a bit of a chat with Mike Jones and heard all about his weekend and how he sits in the points moving into Tailem Bend. Let's hear from Mike now. We were watching it.
Yeah.
And we actually seen it, and I was like, I didn't know what it was. So it was the wing, hey?
Yeah, so when I was coming into turn 3 there, I felt something, and I didn't a movement in my bike. I didn't know what it was at the time. I actually thought there was, because we're so hard on the tyres here, I actually thought maybe something was going wrong with the bike or the tyre. And as it turns out, Brian was just so close to me that he's touched his wing on the back of my bike and on the exhaust or the tyre, and it's ripped the wing off his bike, and that's sort of made me a little bit hesitant for the next couple of turns, but fortunately everything was all right still on my bike, and we sort of kept into it.
What was the pace for the weekend? Do you reckon everyone's pace was just electric because there was some dynamic racing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the pace this weekend was quite hot. Like, we saw that in qualifying. Like, there was, and also just how competitive it was. I think about 5 or 6 of us qualified at a 32.0, like all in the same same 10th, So the pace was strong, and then I think because that we had a bit of a mix with the weather, like for that first race, it kind of maybe brought everyone back together again, where normally when you get an extra race in, you sort of build on it and go from there. But because we missed that and had a wet race, it's sort of everyone was still a bit hesitant, a bit cautious, and that kind of thing. So I think the conditions played to it as well.
So you come away from here with a championship with, I don't know how many points it is, but it's whatever it is. Feel pretty good?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously the focus is on the championship now with coming into this weekend. We had two rounds to go. We had this weekend, we got next weekend at the Bend. So the focus is definitely on the championship. And so, leading into the weekend, I suppose the expectation was that had it been completely dry and the conditions were consistent, you'd kind of expect Wayne to, obviously Wayne and Josh are there to put Wayne at the front, and we were probably going to, have some damage there with the points. So that was kind of the expectation, but this is motorcycle racing and anything can happen, and that's exactly what happened. So we were able to extend that lead, and certainly go into the next round now with a healthy championship lead.
Awesome, mate. Well, good to watch. Scary. Edge of the seat. I was standing here in the pits watching it and taking photos and doing my job, and I think it's more nerve-wracking on the sideline. But, man, it's been a pleasure. See you at the Bend.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. See you there.
Next up, we have round winner Josh Waters discussing his fantastic weekend at Phillip Island. Josh Waters, mate, congratulations. How was the weekend?
Yeah, all good. Friday was obviously good, and then Saturday qualifying to do the lap time I did on the race tyre, the A, was pretty special. The people that have ridden on a Phillip Island tyre would know what I mean by that. Race 1 in the wet was a bit different. We had a couple of little things that we need to improve, but then this morning's race was quite good to get 1-2 for the team, and then the final race, unfortunately the team didn't get 1-2, but I was able to go good. So,
mate, obviously we've seen the first half of the season, we see everything, but we see on the Duke now and see it riding.
Yeah.
Ability is definitely never a question. It must feel pretty good to be just showing people that everything's still there.
Yeah, bloody good feeling. So exactly everything you said has just clicked. I know, the team have done an awesome job, but Mike Jones also rode one for a couple of years, and he went good, but not like he goes on the bike that he's on now. So the bike has to suit you also.
It's a big part to it, isn't it? And it's it's just trying to join those two together.
Yeah, bike and team have to suit you. So.
You look happy, mate. I see you obviously last night getting out of the car when I thought you were going to carjack me.
Yeah.
You guys look pretty happy too.
Yeah, so it was all good. See how we go next weekend.
Awesome, mate. Well, it's so good to see, and we'll catch you around, eh?
Too easy, thank you.
It was a great insight from Josh discussing his round at ASBK Phillip Island. It looks like he's really gelled with a team that obviously has got a very good comprehension of the Ducati Panigale V4R. And obviously I got to do a little bit of work with the team on the weekend, and they're very welcoming and just work really well as a team. And you can see why a calibre of rider like Josh can get in there and just really gel with that team. Really great to work with, and hopefully get to see Josh maybe on that bike maybe next year or something. But for now, he's going to be on the bike this weekend at Tailem Bend. Next up, we have Brock Pearson having a bit of a talk about Phillip Island and riding the Desmo Sport Ducati.
To be completely honest, I was hoping for a little bit more this weekend. Every time I've rode this bike, I've made big steps ahead, and eventually you're going to find a weekend where you don't make as much progression, I guess. And this weekend, that's what I found. So I circulated a little bit with bike setup and a few changes that necessarily hindered my results all weekend long. So in short, I suffered a little bit all weekend with a little bit of grip, but fortunately another 1 week from now and I'll be talking about different results from the bend. So come Friday this weekend we'll be out of the mind and trying to turn it into a really good result.
The really cool thing from my perspective is we walk away from the bend last year with an awesome result. It's one of your best days ever in life. I guess it's a nice feeling going back there, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, and I tested on the sub bike there a couple of weeks ago and only had 1 day and I went really good. So I get a good vibe out of that track. I've had my good and my bad around there, but at the end of the day, I like the track, I like the circuit, and obviously that's where I won the championship. So I've pretty much got one more weekend this year to try and show something special. I'm sure people think I'm a good rider, but I want to show that I'm great. So one opportunity to do it.
Mate, it's hard being a competitor. There's always something to push for, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Always will be. But, let's see how we are in 7 days' time and see what results we're talking about.
Thanks, Brock. Appreciate it, mate. After speaking with Brock, we found Tom Bremich and had a chat about the Supersport races on the weekend. Let's hear what Tom has to say.
Yeah, awesome weekend. To go to pole position and then 2-1-1 was, exactly what we wanted. Another win on the Saturday would have been nice, but the rain came. But, super happy, super relieved as well. And, just really grateful and happy for my boys that have put in heaps of work and, got us to where we are now.
Mate, you look just real comfortable on the bike. It must be a good feeling at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. When you're confident on a bike, it is a nice feeling because you're in control of how much you can push and, you feel like you're within your limits, but you're on the limit. So, definitely a nice feeling. And, I felt like I rode quite good this weekend. There's a few things always to improve and get better at, but, it was a really good weekend overall.
Mate, you've done heaps of laps here. Did the pace feel like it was going to be this hot this weekend?
To be honest, I thought it was actually going to be faster. Like at the start of the year, we're doing 35s here in the race and then low 36s. But today we raced in the 36s and yesterday was in the 37s. But the thing is with this place, you can never really compare lap time to lap time, weekend to weekend because it changes so much. Like the start of the year was perfect conditions, good track temperature, no wind, and we've had the standard Phillip Island 4 seasons in a day times 10. So it's been difficult and the pace was hot though.
So 5 days time we're on track at Tailem Bend. What do you do?
Start again, start fresh. This means nothing when you go to the bend. It's a new track for everyone. It'd be back to our normal schedule, 3 practices, a couple of qualifyings and 2 races. So I'm looking forward to the standard schedule and this will mean nothing. You're only as good as your last race and everyone will start from scratch again come FP1 on Friday.
Doing our rounds late Sunday afternoon/evening, we came across Max Dalfer and had a bit of a chat to him. Max had a bit of a frustrating weekend with a couple of issues along the way, but always a fantastic and positive attitude out of Max, and we'll see big things from him. Obviously, one more round to go next weekend and through into 2023. So let's have a listen to what Max had to say about the ASBK weekend at Phillip Island. How'd this weekend feel, mate? We had 3 races, Phillip Island, World Superbike weekend. How'd it feel?
These weekends are always tough. They're always pretty crammed and whatnot. You don't always get the same amount of riding time in, so it's definitely more difficult. But for me, the weekend was definitely up and down. I improved my times, but in qualifying, I've definitely done my best time I've ever done. But in the race, we sort of lacked that consistent speed at that time, so we sort of need to work on getting that time quicker and being able to do that more consistently. So at the moment, that's what we're working on and that's what we're pushing towards.
With this being like your first year in ASBK as a superbike, man, you see so many different things happening over the weekend and that. It was a stressful weekend.
Definitely stressful. Probably more frustrating though. I don't like struggling. I like riding motorbikes to go good and be successful. So it definitely gets frustrating sometimes when I'm not running up the front. It's just something that I've got to work towards, and I'm definitely trying. I'm determined. That's where I want to be. So I'm not going to stop until I'm there.
Awesome, mate. Well, you've been awesome to watch this weekend. And what happened in race 2? What was the go at the start?
Motobat, their battery stuffed up and my bike wouldn't start. So
True, because I was at the starting grid. Obviously, I did photos for a few teams and whatnot, and I seen your old man running down as well. Maxi tyres aren't scrubbed in. Did you hear any of that?
yeah, I heard all of that, and it just made me a bit more nervous. And I was already thinking about a cold tyre, but that's all right. It's all a part of it, and we're all learning. So yeah, we'll keep pushing forward.
It was pretty cool because I got to witness that. Then I was out in the middle of the track, and I got to see you battle for some positions as well. So it must have just went through your head pretty quick. Got up to temp, and off you go.
Yeah, that's right. The only way to get more heat in your tyres is to go faster. So, there was only one goal in mind, and that was to just push as hard as I can from the start. If I had stuffed around for a bit, the tyres would have just got colder. So, there's only one thing I could do, and that was go as hard as I could.
Cool, brother. See you in 4 days.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
It was another great insight from Max. Next up, we chatted to Brian Starring from Desmo Sport Ducati and heard about his thrilling weekend that he had at the Phillip Island circuit. Let's hear what Brian has to say.
The tyre is really good. It surprised us that we could race on it here. We didn't expect that. We put a few more laps on it in qualifying than, we thought we should do a few more laps on it in qualifying just to see. And then I guess with our championship position and with everything else that is going on and around, we thought we're in a position to take a little bit of risk. So anyway, we did that, and overall it worked well. I didn't have a great result in race 2. That was, the tough one of the weekend for me. But I just didn't quite have it. A few small tweaks in the second one, and I think we really got, I'm going to say the most out of that tyre. I couldn't really push for a great lap time. I was too buried in the pack in the beginning of the race. But I had a really solid, strong fight through the pack in the last race, and I'm happy with the bike, the tyre, the team. We finished quite strong for the weekend, so that's good.
Mate, that obviously some fantastic weekend racing, but that race 3, that was, as a spectator, that was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, I know. I feel like, I'm sure that was good as a spectator, and on the bike, I don't know why, if I was watching the race back myself, I would question why I take risks, or anyone would, in that scenario. But I don't know, when you've got your helmet on, it doesn't seem like such a risk. But it was challenging conditions because the wind changed everything, and every time I tried to line up some pass out of turn 3 and into Honda, I had so many tight moments, and in the end, I put my wing into the back of Jonesy's exhaust, and that's too tight at turn 3. But I lined it all up, in my opinion, accurately. But when he got blown, I didn't get blown the same way because I was so protected. And then in the end, I ran in the back of him, and I had a few close calls like that. But if you want to line up a pass, that was one of my strong areas. It's got to be, you got to take some risk somewhere. So that was that, and it was great racing.
Racing's racing, mate. It's a pleasure to watch all weekend and work with you. So thanks heaps, Brian.
Yeah, no worries. Always a pleasure from my end as well. Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed that insight from the riders there. I'm really appreciative of their time, and it's such a great insight into how their weekends were and how everything went down at this round. We head off to Tailem Bend this weekend coming up. So there's obviously championships on the line. It's going to be a thrilling battle, and we'll be back with another catch-up show real soon. If you're enjoying our content, make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel and give us a rating and a review on iTunes.